Hello students, I am Purabhi Das, teaching in Kendriya Vidyalaya Sector 8 RK Puram, Delhi. Today we are going to discuss the chapter Principle of Inheritance and Variations, under which we are going to discuss the following topics: Law of Segregation, Law of Independent Assortment, Test Cross, Law of Incomplete Dominance and Co-dominance. Earlier, you have studied about the first law of Mendel, that is, law of dominance. Let's start with our discussion from law of segregation. Now, as you see in the picture, there is a cross between purple and white flower. The purple is dominant, having the genotype capital P, capital P. The white recessive, having the genotype small p and small p. Now, during gamete formation, each of these alleles gets separated, and then these two alleles get together during hybrid formation. So, each gamete receives one allele. And so, these alleles they separate during gamete formation. The analogy can be seen during the process of meiosis. Let us recall meiosis that you have studied. Now, during anaphase 1, as you know, that the chromosomes, the homologous chromosomes get separated. In the same way, when the Mendel studied in the second law, the law of segregation, the two alleles get separated. Till now, we talked about the monohybrid cross. Now, let us see what happens in dihybrid cross. What is the meaning of dihybrid cross? Dihybrid means the plants that are differing in two characters. So, we cross a plant which differs in two characters. Mendel, in his dihybrid cross, he considered two characters. The one, the form of seed, whether it was round or wrinkled, and the color of cotyledon, whether it is a yellow or green. Now, when he crossed the two plants, what was the result? Let us see and analyze the result. In the F1 generation, what he found? He found all yellow round. So, the yellow round dominant, and the genotype is written as capital R, small r, capital Y and small y. Now, the next step that he did to raise the F2 generation by self-pollination. What was the result? Now, when we draw a Punnett square and analyze the result, we see that the dihybrid ratio which was obtained was 9:3:1, of which the 9 were yellow round, the 3 were green round, the 3 were yellow wrinkled, and only 1 was green wrinkled. This result can be depicted in the form of Punnett square as shown in the picture. So, now let us have a quick summary of the dihybrid cross. The parents, which are represented by capital R, capital Y, capital Y for the round yellow color that was dominant, and small r, small y and small y for the recessive character, and that is wrinkle and green. So, the gametes after fusion produced the F1 generation, which were all round yellow, capital R, capital Y and small y. Now, let us see what were the results. So, what you found in the cross? Now, you found that there are two types parental and two types new combination. Now, what were these parental types? The yellow round and green wrinkled. And what were the new combinations? The yellow wrinkled and green round. So, what he concluded? That the inheritance is independent and there is random assortment of chromosomes. That means there is random alignment of the chromosomes. Now, this can be very well understood with the help of meiosis. Let us recall meiosis, where there is a separation of homologous chromosomes, and then during the metaphase and the anaphase, there is alignment of the chromosomes. So, there is the same analogy which we can find in the dihybrid cross. So, are we in a position to give a statement for the second law? Yes. The second law is the law of segregation, and the third law, the law of independent assortment. We can state law of independent assortment as the follows. The inheritance of one trait has no effect of inheritance of other. caused by gene shuffling a random assortment of chromosomes during meiosis. We have studied about the homozygous and heterozygous conditions. But have you ever thought how to find out the genotype of a heterozygous condition? Because the heterozygous condition can be written as capital P or capital P small p. So is the technique, we call it a test cross. So basically a test cross is used to determine the unknown genotype of a dominant phenotype. So it is crossed with a homozygous recessive. Here is an example. A white color flower which is recessive having small p and small p is crossed with a dominant phenotype, and that is purple color. Now this purple color, it exists in two conditions. Heterozygous conditions, the capital P and capital P and small p. Now we have to find out that whether this phenotype exists in heterozygous condition or homozygous condition. Now to test this, we cross the white flower with purple flower, first with a homozygous condition and the next with a heterozygous condition. Now let us see what happens. When we cross the recessive flower, that is the white flower, with the purple homozygous condition, what is the result? After the cross, we find that when the white flower is crossed with the homozygous condition, all the plants were purple, all the flowers were purple. On the other hand, when the white flower was crossed with heterozygous conditions, we find that half of the flowers were purple and the half were white. So that's how we determine that if whether the known genotype is a heterozygous condition or homozygous condition. If we get all the purple flowers, then it is a homozygous condition. That is, the dominant phenotype is having capital P. On the other hand, if we get 50-50, that is half of the flowers are purple and the half of the flowers are white, then that means it is a heterozygous condition and the dominant phenotype is having capital P and small p. Now let us study a very interesting phenomenon that is called incomplete dominance. Now this shows an interaction of genes. Till now you have studied about the law of dominance, where you studied that a particular character is dominant over another character. But now this is a very interesting phenomenon which has been observed in a 4 o'clock plant and snapdragon, where there are two kinds of flowers, the red and white. When this red flower and the white flower were crossed, let us see what were the result. In the F1 generation, what happened? Oh, we got the pink flowers. Now what is the reason of having the pink flowers? According to law of dominance, it should have been red flower because red is dominant over white. What is the reason of having a pink color? Let us find out. Now we get a pink color in the F1 generation. That means the red is not completely dominant over the white. Instead, an intermediate color has been obtained. Now when you look into the checkerboard, if the egg is represented by capital R and the white represented by small r and small r, the pink color that obtained has a genotype capital R, small r. But in the F2 generation, we get the plants 1 red, 2 pink and 1 white. The genotypic ratio becomes 1:2:1, but it is the same as the phenotypic ratio, 1:2:1. Now can you recall the monohybrid cross, where we found the ratio 3:1. So this is a different kind of interaction, where we find a different genotypic ratio, a different phenotypic ratio, but the genotypic and the phenotypic ratio are same in the case of incomplete dominance. 1 red, 2 pink and 1 white. We get 1 red flower, 2 pink flowers and 1 white. So the genotypic ratio becomes 1:2:1. So now let us conclude the two laws. An intermediate color pink is obtained. Second, no specific gene for pink flowers. That means, why the pink color obtained? Because there had been no specific genes. The red was dominant and the white was recessive, but the pink color was an intermediate between the red and white. So the law states that the dominant phenotype is not completely dominant over recessive and intermediate color is obtained. Now let us have a very interesting phenomenon which is called codominance. Initially you have seen that in incomplete dominance, the red color was not completely dominant over the white and we got an intermediate color. But in this particular case, which is a genetic mechanism which operates in ABO blood group of men, the F1 resemble both parents. That means both have equal share. So they are controlled by a gene of 3 alleles, IA, IB and I. So this particular character here having 3 alleles instead of 2. So it is a case of multiple allelism. So what is the difference between the incomplete dominance and codominance? In the case of incomplete dominance, an intermediate color was obtained between the red and white. But in the case of codominance, both the dominant alleles, they shared each other and they produce a new phenotype. They both express themselves. Now let us have a study on the genetic basis of blood groups which are found in men. Now in men, there are 4 blood groups, A, B, AB and O. Now let us see what are the genotypes of each of these phenotypes. The blood group A has the genotype IA, IA or I capital A small I. These are the alleles of the blood groups. The B blood group will have I capital B, I capital B or I capital B or small I. Now let us see the AB blood group. AB blood group has the genotype capital IB, capital IB. On the other hand, the O blood group will have both the alleles in the recessive condition. That means when both the alleles are in recessive condition, then we have a different phenotype and that is O blood group. Now let us come to AB blood group. So the AB blood group in the antigen on the RBC has both the antigen for A and B. So it is a universal recipient. So this AB blood group is a new phenotype which was produced by combination of the dominant allele of A and the dominant allele of B. Now if you look into the picture, you can clearly understand that the 2 dominant alleles IA and IB, they are present together. Both expresses and the new phenotypes AB. The new phenotype AB has a different kind of alleles. They have got different kind of alleles as compared to type A and type B. So after studying all this, let us summarize the differences between codominance and incomplete dominance. In the codominance, both the alleles show their effects. On the other hand, incomplete dominance, both alleles blend their effects. And in the codominance, there is no blending of effects. Now let us have a quick revision of the topics that we have studied. The first, the 2 alleles controlling each character separate during gamete formation. Second, the dihabit ratio is 9:3:3:1. The test cross help to find out the genotype of unknown dominant phenotype. Incomplete dominance in the F1 shows intermediate color. And codominance, the ABO blood group, the new phenotype appear. Now try this to check your understanding. What is dihabit cross? Dihabit ratio is 9:3:3:1, true or false? What is the purpose of test cross? The phenotypic ratio in incomplete dominance is an example of codominance in man is, and the 2 alleles separate during formation. So that's for today. In the next episode, we are going to discuss with the topics chromosomal theory of inheritance, linkage and recombination. Thank you.